We bought a $40,000 car that we absolutely could not afford and had to trade it in 9 months later. In 2021, we walked into a car dealership in Kansas City and we walked off the lot with a 2021 Toyota Highlander that we absolutely could not afford. We had zero business buying that car, but yet somehow they still let us walk off the lot with it. We were making decent money and getting by at that time.
Okay, hold up. Gotta stop right there. What do you mean somehow they let you walk off the lot with a car? Well, you went to the car dealership looking for a car, and their job is to sell you a car, obviously. Why are you surprised that they let you walk off with the car? Whether you can afford it or not is not their problem. Their job is to sell you a car. It's your job to make sure that you can afford the car. And I'm a firm believer that you can only afford a car if you can afford to pay it off in cash, or you can pay it off within a year. See it. That's my definition of for being able to afford a car. Yes, cars are expensive, but your car does not have to be the newest thing. It doesn't have to have all these gadgets and the heated seats and all this navigation stuff. Like, it doesn't need any of that stuff. I have my phone for that, right? You can't pay off your car within a year. You cannot afford the car. And don't be surprised that a car dealership wants to sell you a car when that's your job to do. Their job is to sell you a car. It's your job to make sure that you understand what you are buying.
I had a 1-year-old and I was pregnant with my second daughter and needed a mom car. No, I didn't, newsflash. But yeah, so that happened. About 6 months after that, we moved to Montana and pretty much started over our entire lives. So we couldn't afford that payment anymore. We were paying $750 a month for this car. And to put that in perspective, our mortgage in Kansas City was $850. Everything was
That's a decent mortgage. $850. Ooh, I'll take that any day. But $750 for a car? No, you can miss me with that. How's her car payment almost as much as her mortgage? That's insane.
much more expensive up here and we weren't making the same income we were making in Kansas City at first, so we decided to just go ahead and trade it in. We took the hit and learned the lesson. Honestly, I don't regret getting out of that situation. I'd rather admit that I made a bad money move than stay stuck just to save face. So this is
Yes, I wish a lot of people would do that nowadays. Like, be adult enough to take responsibility for the stupid financial decisions that you've done and learn from them and don't repeat them. But what a lot of people do is they don't learn from them. They repeat them over and over again, and then they want to fix it until it's too late. Learn your lessons the first time.
So I was paying $1,500 for a Nissan that's only worth 11, 12 grand.
Because it's $575 a month, the car note, and then $1,000 a month for the insurance. I'm just making sure I hear that right.
Correct. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good, man.
Thank you, thank you a lot for taking the time to even speak to me, because I just needed that. And I just turned 24, and I'm kind of clueless with the situation. But let me just start filling you in. 2 years ago, I believe, or almost, 2 years ago, I purchased a car. I had no credit, and it was from a dealership in the Bronx called Jamaica Motorsports, and basically it was a Nissan Altima. I contacted the dealership because I had no credit, and since I had no credit, he was explaining to me that he can get me into a car that might not be the car that I want, but within 5 months I could trade it in when my credit is better and get something different.
If a dealership ever tells you this, politely shake their hand and walk off the lot. Because what they're telling this man in the situation is that he can trade in his car 5 months later. What they're going to do in that situation is they're going to roll over the negative equity from the car that this guy has to the car that he wants and pretty much extend their payment out to make it seem like they're not paying that much, but your interest rate is going to be jacked the hell up. If a dealership ever tells you some nonsense like this, walk off immediately.
So I took his word because my friend grew up with him, and he has a nice dealership. So I needed a car at the time I was moving, and I ended up going to the dealership. The guy showed me the car. It had 57,000 miles. It was a Nissan Altima SR, 2020. And they charged me basically 23,000. It ended up being like 20, 25, 26 with fees and everything. I was told
That right there is diabolical, because that car is not worth no $24,000, $25,000 with 57,000 miles. I don't even know why this man would go to a dealership without knowing anything about the car he's buying. Because as everyone knows, by now, Nissan Altimas have the worst transmissions in the business. The Jatco transmission is a piece of crap. This is why people need to do your research before you decide to buy a car.
That I was going to get charged $19 for it. I signed the paper. They ended up getting insurance from me and told me that it was $400 a month.
That's a lot.
A week goes by. Geico cancels my insurance and tells me that the information that they put in is not the right information. So I was like, what? I ended up spending like $700 on the insurance. So, and then I realized that is fraud. So I was paying $1,500 for a Nissan that's only worth $11, $12.
Wait, hold on. Let's pause right quick. Let's pause right quick.
So I ended up, listen.
Yeah, so
I ended up.
Just so we're clear.
Let me just.
I got you, brother. Okay. But we're digesting a lot of information, so you gotta let me break it up because you went from 0 to 100, and I know you're frustrated. So we'll figure it out.
I apologize.
Yeah. So you went to go buy a 2020 Nissan Altima SR 2 years ago. You got approved. So 0 credit, all right? And what bank did you get approved with?
Lenbuzz.
Lenbuzz. Okay. What was your interest rate with Lenbuzz?
16%.
16%.
Jesus Christ. 16% on a 2020 Nissan Altima. Diabolical.
I thought it was 12%, but when I called them, because I was like trying to find more information, they told me it was 16%. And I already was giving them a year's worth of payments, and my principal didn't go down, not one bit.
Got approved at a 15% interest rate or 16% interest rate with Lenbuzz for $575. The dealership got you insurance, but then later on, the insurance company canceled the insurance because you believe that they have committed fraud to get you an insurance policy. So now you are paying around $1,500 a month for a 2020 Nissan Altima SR because it's $575 a month for the car note and then $1,000 a month for the insurance. I'm just making sure I hear that right.
Correct.
You're not trolling, brother, right? You're crazy.
I swear to God, this is 100%. I can show. I had paid. Like, they just mailed me a paper that said they sold the car at auction. And the reason why I know all this information is because I'm going through it. Like, I wasn't a kid that knew how to even purchase a car. So This was my first ever time. And
so right now it's repoed. So that's what you're saying, right? They repoed the car.
Well, I just want to say this. Not knowing is not an excuse. Not knowing is not an excuse because, like I said, the dealership's job is to sell you a car. It is your job to make sure that you understand what you are buying and what you are signing. That's why when you sign a paper, they say you sign this to verify that you understand what this paper says. It's your job to understand this. No one else's. And people don't seem to understand that. No one is out here to hold your hand. Like, you have access to the internet. Use this. Research it at the dealership. It'll give you all the answers you need. Matter of fact, Google will even tell you if your deal that you got is a good deal or not. It's crazy how dumb people are. We have all this technology. I don't understand it.
So I voluntarily surrendered the car.
So you didn't pay for the car when it got to that point. Like, you haven't been making payments.
So basically, since I was paying $1,000 in insurance, I couldn't keep up with my expenses. So I ended up being 2 months behind.
How much were you making a month to be able to pay $1,500 a month for the Nissan for 2 years?
So basically, honestly, I was just making like $2,000 a month. I told the guy that I wanted to do DoorDash, right?
Jesus Christ, $2,000 a month. So this man has less than $500 left over a month after he pays his car note. This man, obviously, he lives in New York City, which is one of the most expensive cities to live in. Yes, $1,000 is high as hell for insurance, but that's what the rates go for new drivers in New York City, especially when you have full coverage insurance on a car, since you legally don't own it. The bank does. They will get you at every single turn. They will get you. Do your research before you go on these damn car lots.
And I had a side gig job. I was thinking that I was going to get charged $600 a month in just everything, because that's what I was told, and that's what I was kind of promised. And then come to find out, I'm paying $1,500, and I couldn't afford it. So that's why I was like stressed out. It sold for $8,000
at the auction. Okay,
$8,000.
All right.
Yes, but then they said that I owed them $15,000, and then they added $2,000 on just fees.
What you got to be responsible for this, right? And I tell people all the time when it comes to like doing Uber Eats and stuff or Uber Black or Uber, you should never invest into debt to say, hey, I want to buy a new car, I want to buy a car, especially if you're not in a good credit situation, to say, oh, I want to be an Uber driver, I want to do Uber Eats, or I want to do Instacart, because the problem is these companies are making money off of you more than you can make money off of them. If you're like, Yusuf, I owe 17,000, how do I get out of it?
If you're gonna do Uber Eats or DoorDash in New York City, just get a scooter. Just get like a $2,000 scooter. All you gotta do is charge it at night, take it out. It lasts like maybe 50 miles, and you can make a lot of money. Just get a scooter. You don't need no damn car to do no Uber Eats, no DoorDash, no type of food deliveries in New York City. Plus, scooters are a lot faster in New York City than any vehicle. Walking is faster than driving in New York City, it just seems. This man, look, I would have taken that car back immediately, because he said that they jacked up his insurance to $1,000 a week after he got the car. He should have just gave the car back to the dealership and got his money back. That is insane. That is absolutely insane what this guy's doing to himself.
Yes, I can make the number cheaper, because obviously I can't pay that full amount right now.
Yeah, a lawyer won't do anything for you. You contract, you signed a contract that, with the bank, and then also the liability went off of the dealership when you signed the as is clause, right? What options you have in front of you, the only option that you can have that will allow you to kind of get back on your feet a little bit quicker is to call the bank and say, hey, Len Buzz, I don't have any money. Can I settle this car, right? I'll use 17. Can we do 5? Can we do 6? Can I do payment plan? Secure a credit card for $500. Start making good payments. Start establishing some relationships with some sort of lines of credit where you can pay. So maybe finding a way to find a service that'll report your rent payments to your credit history, or to get this major debt off of your head. So call the bank, figure out what they can do for you, and then you can just shoot me messages, tell me what they said. You're just gonna have to give this some time, to be honest.
I've been like a supporter, and I just want to say that your content been helping me learn a lot and been making me interested in the car field. So that's all I wanted to say, and I appreciate you for giving me your time to speak to me and give me advice, because that really helps me out.
I mean, this is all part of a learning curve, and we all got to learn from our mistakes, and I hope that you learn from your mistakes. I learn from my mistakes. I make mistakes all the time, and we just got to grow together.
Thank you again for just giving me the time to even make me feel a little bit better, and just now I know what's the next step. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Bye.
All right. Well, shout out to Yusuf for teaching the dummies about buying cars when they can just do the research themselves. But this absolutely insane situation. He gets these calls a lot, and they are ridiculous. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. See y'all guys next time.